Okay, so let's keep on cracking through here. So we're on to question 2 now, and starting here we're simplifying fully, so let's collect like terms. So this first term here, let's think for a second, what do we consider like with that? Well, we need an x squared and a y squared, so that's our like term. So 10x squared minus 5x squared is going to be 5x squared y, and then the plus 8xy squared is not like, so we'll just have to leave that as is. Alright, so next question is asking us to simplify, and you'll notice that it's exactly the same. So we'll write out our simplified version first, and then we'll factorise, because it also asks us to factorise. So we've got an x in both terms, we've also got a y in both terms, even though I missed out the x there, so x y squared, and then 5x will give us 5xy, and 8y will give us 5xy squared, and that's it. Okay, question B is asking us to expand and simplify, so that times that is going to give us 6x squared, and that times that is going to give us negative 10x. I might just write it down here so I've got a bit more room. And then we've got negative 4 times 3x, which is negative 12x, and negative 4 times 5, which is positive 20. Now we just need to collect our like terms here, and so that gives us 6x squared minus 22x plus 20, and that's it. Okay, question C is asking us to simplify, so we've got fractions here, so we'll write them both over the same denominator. So the number that 5 and 2 both go into is 10. So we're going to write two fractions here over 10. So thinking about what I times 5 by to make it 10, well, I times it by 2. So I have to times the top by 2 as well. So that means we've got 2x up here. I've times the bottom by of this one by 5, so I must times the top by 5 as well. And I must remember to times all of the top by 5. So 2x times 5 gives us 10x, and negative 1 times 5 gives us negative 5. Okay, now that I've got them both over the same denominator, I can subtract the tops. So I'll write my fraction down here that's over 10. So I've got 2x minus 10x, so that's going to be minus 8x. And then I've got minus negative 5. So if you've got minus negative 5, that's the same as positive 5 or plus 5. So over here I'm going to have plus 5. And that's it. We can't combine these terms any further, and so that's as far as we can go. Alright, as you're getting familiar with now, we're starting to see a pattern where we're given a hint for our next question. So let's use our hint from our working from our last question. So we've got negative 8x plus 5 over 10 is less than or equal to negative 3x over 5. And that's already made it easier. So my first step of working here is I'm going to multiply both sides by 5. When I'm timesing a fraction by 5, I also need to remember that it's like I'm timesing it by 5 over 1. Okay, so that just reminds me that I'm timesing top with top and bottom with bottom. So timesing top with top here, remembering that 5 is timesing both of these things, I'm going to have negative 40x plus 25, and that's all over 10. And on the other side, the 5's are just going to cancel out. And so I'm left with negative 3x over 1, but I don't need to write the over 1. Alright, my next step of working is going to be to get rid of that 10 off the bottom. So I'm going to times both sides by 10. And the purpose of that is to cancel it out on this side. So I'm just left with negative 40x plus 25 is bigger than or equal to negative 30x. Now I want to get my x's all on one side, so I'm going to add 40x to both sides, and that has eliminated negative 40x from that side. and so that gives me 25 is bigger than or equal to 10x, and now I'm going to divide both sides by 10, so my 10's cancel out off that side, and I'm left with 2.5 is less than or equal to x, or I could say that x is less than or equal to 2.5. So just notice that if I'm going to swap x over to here, then I must also swap those signs there. Okay, I'll just put x back where it was. Okay, alright, so I think we'll leave that for our first question. And so there's just a summary of our first paper if you want to pause it there and have a look over your own notes. And then I'll do another video for the next part of question 2.